Hey everybody. This week, Seattle, Washington has made a lot of headlines because of a tax that they've just voted to impose on the residents of Seattle, Washington. This bill was voted on by City Council, led by Tim Burgess and Sally Bagshaw. They are both anti gun politicians who work closely with a Seattle, Washington based anti gun group called Grandmothers Against Gun Violence. This bill was voted 8-0 and was passed on Monday, August 10th, 2015, at 2 p.m. PST. The bill aimed to be an anti gun violence bill is actually a tax and a new law that changes the way stolen guns are to be reported. As it stands, there is federal law that requires gun stores to report stolen firearms, but there aren't any that force citizens to report those firearms stolen. There's a lot of places or a lot of cities, townships that do require stolen handguns to be reported stolen, but this bill puts forth a penalty against anyone who does not report a firearm stolen. That penalty is up to a $500 fine, and it has to be reported within 24 hours of you noticing the gun stolen or missing. And I'm not really sure how they're going to enforce this, if they can enforce it at all. But the tax portion, or the tax bill itself, is aimed to go after businesses that sell firearms, transfer firearms, and sell ammunition. The tax is going to be an additional $25 charge when purchasing a firearm and transferring a firearm. The ammunition tax is going to be 5 cents per round. So if you purchase, transfer firearms, or purchase ammunition in the city of Seattle, you will be responsible for these taxes. It will definitely generate a decent amount of money. They estimate that they will generate anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 a year for this, and that the money will be used to fund research and organizations that will develop programs to curb or stop gun violence and slow down the culture. This is what they say, anyways. So the city council I looked into, they all seem to be liberal. The two talking heads, it's that city council, would be the president, Tim Burgess, and Sally Bagshaw. They are actually closely related to a gun group there, an anti-gun group called Grandmothers Against Gun Violence. And I looked through the bill and I'm reading through it, and there was no mention as to the limitations of the funds collected from this tax, which is very interesting to me. There seems to be a lot of local kickback against the bill. A lot of people are stating that it is a discrimination against people lower incomes, good people that live in bad areas being charged more money to be able to lawfully protect themselves. And that is a really hot topic in a lot of the cities that have imposed gun laws. They seem to always be aimed at impoverished groups of people, typically minorities, in urban neighborhoods, where they increase the price or cost of ownership of concealed carry weapons or home protection weapons under the guise of reducing gun violence. A lot of people would argue that this doesn't do anything to stop crime, whether it be knife crime or gun crime. That this actual bill in my opinion, seems to be a funding bill. It seems to be a bill using the popularity of the gun control to generate revenue for a small group of people who are in charge of this group that I have mentioned. I will probably do another story on this group profiling its members and what the group actually does and what they have done in the past. But for right now, just reading over the information that I found and looking at their Facebook page, it seems that this bill hopes to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars to give to these groups. And there's nothing in the language of the bill that would indicate that there is any type of restriction on what they can do with the money. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're probably going to come up with a lot of these funds missing and a lot of these funds being funneled into personal bank accounts, and we won't actually see any real results or any good research as far as how we can prevent gun violence and things of that nature. It just seems like another political scam to steal taxpayer money and limit legal gun ownership in this country. Thank you for watching.